the bigger picture.
And it's the Raptors ball. Pass to Barnes. Ingram against Cunningham. Shot clock at 5. Here's Pirtle. Thompson with the rebound. With a short break in the action gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Darko Rajakovic and I got a chance to talk for a little bit. We talked about how dialed in he is on Cade Cunningham in this matchup. Coach told me the key is not to let him get into a rhythm early on. That might mean you have to throw different defenders at him. Maybe send them double teams, too. Everything is on the table tonight. We'll see what they come up with for Cade. Guys?
Thank you, David. And slam dunk by Ingram.
And that's the way it should be. Ingram aggressive to the rack.
R.J. Barrett has established himself as a guy who can play a lot of different roles. Brent, a very versatile player.
A versatile player, Kevin, for sure, and the scoring has been there, but I don't think that's what you rely on with R.J. Barrett. You want him to be a complementary player that plays in different positions on the floor to put the defense at a disadvantage. He's that skilled, and he has that ability to grow that way.
Here's Dick. Back to Barrett. It's hauled in by Stewart. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Now here's Ivy. Dick defending. Stewart with the screen on Barrett. Cunningham for 3. And he's good on the 3-ball.
No doubt Cunningham has that extended range. For him, it's about becoming much more consistent.
It's out of bounds. Okay, they say it was last touched by Ivy.
I'll tell you what, they're really fortunate there. Those long bomb passes usually spell disaster, but they get away with one there.
And here we go. Thompson heading to the hoop. Pass to Stewart. And another 3 for Detroit.
Stewart just preparing himself ahead of the catch to be in rhythm for that jumper.
Here's Dick, covered by Cunningham. Dick, that's good.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let-up. I think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
Now, here's Cunningham. 23 points his last outing. And Cunningham with the slam.
And Cade getting up that time.
2 minutes left. And Barnes has got the ball here for the Toronto Raptors. Trailing by 2. Ingram setting a pick for Barnes. Launches a 3. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
When he's hitting that shot, this offense becomes scary. Even more difficult to defend.
Yeah, no question. When he is connecting from those kind of spots on the floor, it is just a huge boost for what they can do offensively.
Gives the team such a great element having a one guard who can get to the 10.
Certainly something every team wants to have.
Like to see that assertiveness, especially from the guy who's going to orchestrate your offense.
Now, here's Barrett. Nothing on the board. And here's Ingram from the arc. Rebounded by Cade Cunningham. Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Stewart finds Ivy. Floats one up, and it's good on the layup.
He's a big combo guard, and Ivy plays with no fear in there.
52 seconds left to play in the first. Pirtle sets the pick for Dick. There's the 3. It's hauled in by Stewart. Last outing for the Pistons, it was a loss to New York. And Grady Dick gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. There's 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass to Stewart. Here's the 3.
Is it getting cold in here? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
And he comes up with the deuce. Barnes has got 5 points so far.
Inside, Barnes knows he has to fully commit. You don't finish against contact by going in there with half the effort.
Barrett against Stewart. Ivy a screen on Barrett. Stewart passes to Cunningham. Three-pointer, and Barnes sends it back. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. Here's Stewart. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. It's Detroit. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
You know, I like the confidence that they've shown here early on.
Yeah, I think they've controlled the momentum, and that is showing up.
On the court for the Pistons, the backcourt pair will be Cunningham and Ivy. Duren out there with Isaiah Stewart. And it's Thompson in at the 3 spot. And Duren slams it in.
Such a great offensive rebounder. It's so hard to keep Jalen Duren off the glass there.
And stolen by Ivy. Thompson with it, now guarded by Pirtle. And Thompson gets it to go.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Brent, something the Detroit Pistons unit does so well is push the pace in their game.
Yeah, you love to lean into young players and that vibrant athleticism, but you also have to understand that playing fast comes with quick decision making, and sometimes those don't always go hand in hand. The experience that these guys will have in their growth together and how soon it is that they realize they can help each other, it's going to push them places faster and further than they even realize. I think Brandon Ingram, not only a great story in his own right, starting to find out just how capable he is as a talent in this league, but also for executives about being patient and letting that talent develop.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Obviously, the Pistons in the midst of a long rebuild. 2 seasons in a row at the bottom of the league standings. Last season, they had the worst record in this once proud franchise's history. That counts the record-setting 28-game losing streak that they had. It's pretty clear that this could be a long road back to redemption. Kevin?
Yeah, could is the operative word. This could be indeed. David, thank you.
Well, Cade asking the defense to come out. You got to respect his ability to shoot it from the 3-point line.
Barrett setting a pick for Barnes. Four on the shot clock. Drops in the layup for 2. Barnes has got 9.
We know Scotty's working on that shot. I like him getting inside, though. That's where he can use that touch.
Here's Duren. That's in, coming off the assist from Cunningham. And the Pistons lead by 4.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Here's Dick. Covered by Cunningham. Here's Pirtle. No good. Great defense that time from Duren. Brent, we talk about guys on the brink of stardom. Cade Cunningham is right there.
Yeah, the 2 areas you'd love to see Cade improve on is just taking better shots and making plays for others. He has that instinctually, Kevin, as a point guard at his size. But as his team grows, the appreciation for what Cade Cunningham can do on the floor, that will grow too.
And so here's Toronto, following the bucket by the Pistons. Here's Dick. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the... And it looks like, yep, it's the coach's challenge on the personal foul.
At the line of 2.
Now, where the officials can review in closer detail what constitutes the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, You really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Pistons.
They're really mucking things up for the opposition, racking up steal after steal, just not letting them develop any kind of offensive rhythm.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal and you can get out in transition. They seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
The Raptors making a switch here. Boucher is checked in. Cunningham looking it over. Stewart with the screen on Ingram. Cunningham passes to Stewart. Back to Cunningham. And then Cunningham with the dunk.
I love Cade Cunningham just playing this way, an electric player when he takes advantage.
And what strikes me about Cade Cunningham is he's still growing. He's still capable of doing more on the floor, and he has the work ethic and attitude to make those improvements and become a real factor on the floor.
Now, here's Barrett. No scoring in this one. It's good, and the Pistons lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Barnes. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Here is Cunningham. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Ivy. They grab their own miss. Stewart, a screen for Ivy. Goes back up. And Stewart lays it up and in. Stewart's got 7 points in the game.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
That'll do it for the first half. Pistons lead by 10. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
To me, it starts with their effort. They have to become more active defensively to prevent easy look shots.
Yeah, the only way. And now we get to check out the. And that about wraps.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You look at Cade Cunningham in this game, he's been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Walter out there with Emmanuel quickly. Then there's Chris Boucher. And it's Mobo in at the power forward. That's the group starting the second half for Darko Rajakovic. No good from Beasley. Raptors trail by 10. And the defense of this Raptors team, Greg, they are built to switch.
And it's no accident with their roster construction. They like having wings that can guard all 5 positions. Makes defending a much easier prospect.
Good on both. Pistons leading by 8. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Reed. That drops and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. Reed's got himself on the board with 3 there.
So many different offenses that Tim Hardaway Jr. has played in, but he's trying to improve in his on-court awareness. A good show of it there.
Now, here's quickly. Here's Abaji. It's hauled in by Harris.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Tobias Harris, over the course of his career, has played a lot at both forward positions. He says, I'm comfortable playing both of them. I'm not big on the position thing. I'm versatile. Kevin, he's just a basketball player and a very, very good one.
I would agree, David. I know you like him. We like him as well. A very skilled one at that. Thank you very much.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And so quickly, we'll bring it up for the Raptors. 11-point game. Drives to the hoop, and he banks in the layup.
Well, game's moving fast. Quickly is a little bit faster.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Outside Hardaway. Banked in off the glass. Hardaway has got the lead up to 11 now for the Pistons.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Boucher with a screen on Schroeder. Quickly against Schroeder. 6 on the shot clock. Toronto needs to get off a shot. Here's Boucher, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Boucher's got his first 2 points. Outside Hardaway. Knocks it loose. Here's Mobo, guarded by Harris. That one good for 2.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Pistons leading by 7. Here's Hardaway. Pass to Reed. Beasley outside. He takes it in. Back to Reed. Just 5 on the clock. Schroeder passes to Reed. Misses from close range. Raptors have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80.
And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Now Hardaway Jr. up over top right there, rising up.
Raptors trail by 7. 1:04 left here in the third quarter. Here's Abaji. Covered by Beasley. Pass to Boucher. They get it again. Second shot opportunity. And he lays it up and in. Mobo's got 4 this quarter.
Hard work on the offensive glass. You can see the coaching staff rise up and clap for that effort.
Hardaway for 3. Toronto grabs the miss. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock. Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
There's some ways to get your coach's attention, and that draws the coaching staff's ire.
Here's Hardaway. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Kicks it out to Beasley. Beyond the arc. It's rebounded by Quickly. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. This is his second trip to the free throw line. First free throw is good. Both teams will make substitutions. And Quickly drops them both.
Well, a great player on a great role at the charity stripe. The D has got to be careful about being too aggressive on him and sending him back for freebies.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard with the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the court for the Pistons, the backcourt pair will be Cunningham and Ivy. Isaiah Stewart out there with Thompson. And it's Duran in at the center position. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
I think they put an emphasis on attacking the basket, and watching this, you can see why. They have just carved the defense up here with relative ease.
And there's another thing going on right now for them that has to get their confidence up, and that's the three ball. I mean, it's been falling for them, and they're locked in, and that outside shot going, that's a big difference maker.
Raptors with the lead. Pass to Dick. Barnes outside. Over Cunningham. Barnes can't get it to go.
Oh, can't punish the defense for leaving him open that time. That's a frustrating miss for a really steady jump shooter.
And here's Stewart. Thompson passes to Cunningham. Back to Thompson. Stewart, a screen for Thompson. The Pistons need to get off a shot here from 20 feet out. Stewart misses. The Raptors shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. Barnes down low. Working on Thompson. Off target at the rim. Ivy kicks to Thompson. Shoots over Dick. And Thompson gets it to go.
Gotta do more than this to stop Thompson. He's used to having to fight through contact.
Toronto trailing. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Ingram up top. He's covered by Thompson. Got a piece of it.
Always good to see that kind of activity from Duren on defense.
Stewart passes to Cunningham. Birtle with the steal. And here's the fast break. Barrett leading the way. Here's Dick. 2 points. That one goes. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Raptors.
They have been a wrecking ball defensively, coming up with steals, being active with their hands, and just doing a terrific job of disrupting the rhythm.
And I feel like another part of tonight's game has been the hustle points, getting up and down, getting second chances, getting transition opportunities. They've been fantastic in that area.
Big-time buckets is what everyone wants to see from Ivy. He has to attack without hesitation in those situations.
And the three ball is good. And the Raptors lead by 2.
Gigantic basket by Barnes. This guy's not afraid.
Stewart with the screen on Barrett. And Cunningham with the slam.
You gotta love what Kate Cunningham as a young star is bringing to this game.
Barrett against Ivy. Barrett kicks to Barnes. And the three off target. And it's Cunningham with the ball for Detroit. There's 1:26 left to play here in the fourth. Stewart a screen. Shot clock at 6. The kick out to Cunningham. Pass to Duren. Now here's Stewart. Back to Duren. It's in!
That is world class.
Love seeing that there. A huge possession, and he nets it.
Barnes looking around. Barrett setting a pick for Barnes. It falls! A huge shot to tie it up.
And Barnes keeping calm under pressure.
There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And you love it when the heart of your team injects that kind of play. That was huge from Stewart.
Here's Toronto now. It's Barrett on the wing. Ivy defending.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Monster points from Thompson. No fear in the big moment.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Barrett, wide open, he fires. It counts! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Wow, Barrett not giving up and making a difference.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Tries to save it. And so the ball's out of bounds. Ingram touched it last.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a handle.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
The drive to be great is something that Cade Cunningham quietly possesses, and he has all the tools to be a very special player. And just like that, this game is a 2-possession affair.
Thompson against Ingram. Fires away from outside. Duran pulls it in. Here's Ivy. And so it's the Pistons who come out on top here. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance,
Teams have found their rhythm, while some others seem to be way off to start.
Well, Brian, that can be for a lot of different reasons. Maybe you've changed your system from the year before. Maybe you've changed your roster significantly. Maybe you have some guys who didn't come in as ready as they could be due to conditioning or injury. Every situation, every team has a different set of challenges.
And a look at the starters for the Bulls. Nikola Vucevic is out there with Jalen Smith. Then it's Ball, then it's Buzelis, and it's Giddey in at the shooting guard position.
And now the game is really starting to flow. We should be in for a good one.
Yeah, and it's important to get that first score quickly and establish your game.
Now here's Ball. Pass to Vucevic. They get it again. Now here's Smith. Ball outside. From deep three-point land. And again, Chicago, no good. Stan, it's hard to believe, but the Bulls have not won a playoff series since 2015.
Well, look, Brian, it's hard to win in this league. And when you're rebuilding, trying to find the mix that'll get you over the top is a difficult chore.
Long way from those Michael Jordan glory days.
Woo-hoo, just great work cashing in on the fast break.
Well, converting on those transition opportunities is just so important.
Now here's Ingram. Pass to Pirtle. Now here's Ingram. Here's the pick. And it's Giddey with a rebound. And up the court come the Bulls on the break. Here's Ball. Vucevic. Great positioning on the putback.
Yeah, an impressive offensive rebounder. Vucevic isn't afraid of throwing his weight around.
Here's Ingram. Kicks it out to Barnes. Left side Dick. From downtown, count it. 1 for 1 to start the game.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Outside Giddey. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
And sometimes defenders just forget how tall Giddey is. I mean, the 6'8" guard is solid finishing inside.
Barrett, a screen on Ball. Dick, the pass to Barrett. Down low, Pirtle, and the dunk by Pirtle.
You love to see it. Barrett operating the pick and roll like a surgeon.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
I had a chance to catch up with Darko Rajakovic, and one of their main defensive focuses, Nikola Vucevic. Coach telling me that Vuce has the big body, plus he can really shoot it, but they really emphasized boxing him out. Nikola is great at converting misses into second chance points. Boxing out, it's back to the basics, guys.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. Toronto has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Here's Ingram. Pass to Pirtle. Poke loose. Barnes against Smith. Shot clock at 5. Barnes passes to Ingram. Over Buzelis. The shot by Ingram, no good. Chicago leading. Such a skilled big. 6'10" Nikola Vucevic. He can beat you up in the post, or he can step back and hit a three-stand.
Yeah, Brian, and he's an excellent passer as well. Throughout his career, Vucevic's teams have been very good offensively, and his versatility is a big reason for that.
Drills it from deep.
When you peek at Lonzo's three-point numbers, they illustrate how much time Ball's put into his shot.
Outside Ingram. Lets it go from deep. Knocks it down from distance.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Now here's Ball. And he makes it on the layup. Ball's got 5 points.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
Picked by Pirtle. And Josh Giddey is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And we've got 28 seconds left in the first.
Excellent anticipation there to come away with the steal.
Ball outside. We've got 13 seconds left in the opening quarter. 5 on the clock. Releases. Misses off the left iron. And at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Chicago ahead. They lead by 3. And we'll bring you the start of quarter number 2 when we return. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And before we move on, what do you think about what we've seen here from the Bulls tonight?
You know, they've been relentless in how they attack the paint.
Well, if they're going to be that ferocious inside, this defense is in for a long night.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. Josh Giddey out there with Lonzo Ball. Then there's Nikola Vucevic. Then it's Smith. And it's Buzelis in at the small forward position. Here's Buzelis. 9 points in his last outing. And Grady Dick gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
The 3 from Ball. Rebounded by Ingram. Toronto trailing. Here's Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Way to rise to the occasion and snatch back the momentum.
Yeah, plenty of lead changes in this game. It's gone back and forth.
Grant, would you say the Raptors are in the process of starting over?
You know, I certainly don't think that's the wrong thing to call it, BA. Coaching changes, some big trades. They're shuffling things around and trying to start building something new.
Now here's Barrett. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute of play. Down to 5 on the shot clock. He takes it in. Comes up empty down low. Here are the Bulls with the ball. They trail by 1. Picked by Vucevic. Ball passes to Vucevic. Yes, sir, and it's Ball with the assist that time. Vucevic has got his second basket on the night.
Working it to Vucevic, and he does not hesitate.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Nikola Vucevic has seen a lot in his decade plus in the league, and he said the game has changed. Now you have centers that can pass, put the ball on the floor, make plays, and shoot threes, play like guards, and you can't get stuck in time. You have to be able to adjust.
Allie, he's certainly got the skill level. Here's Ball. After the basket by Toronto. Yes, it's good. Ball's got 7 points.
And I like the mix of power and agility Ball uses inside. One way or another, he's going to get a shot.
Here's Barrett, and that one is stuffed right through.
His hang time on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA.
It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Now here's Giddey, pass to Vucevic. Ball outside. Picked by Vucevic. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
That's his second.
Brady Dick picks one up. All right, Grant, give it to us straight here. What's the deal with star treatment in the NBA, you think?
Star treatment? What is that, BA? No, I think some players have a reputation which might help them on 50-50 calls. And you could argue that some players have a reputation that hinders them on the 50-50 calls. So it really just all depends.
Toronto making a switch here. Boucher's checked in. And Josh Giddey is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, he's going to have to watch himself now. It's a little early for that second foul.
Boucher a screen on Ball. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Dick. Oh, and he got fouled fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Chicago.
Well, a lot of times you'll hear coaches yell, get the ball inside, and you can see why. Good things happen when you get the ball into the paint.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint, just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
Now here's Giddey. Second chance effort. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Vucevic has got his 3rd basket on the night right there.
A player that seemingly inhales rebounds. Vucevic attacks the glass with great energy.
Here's Barnes. Outside for Boucher. Back to Barnes. There's a screen. Outside Ingram. From deep. That's it. Coming off an assist from Barnes. Ingram's got 6.
Well, you can't give a guy like Ingram a look like that from beyond the arc.
Barrett against Giddey. Jams it in off a great move. One team gains momentum, then the other storms back.
Hey, if this is any indication of how the game is going to go, we're in for a treat.
Now here's Barnes. He's scoreless. 34 seconds left in the half. That one falls. And the Raptors lead by 1.
And Barnes doesn't back down from anyone, embracing the contact on the way up.
Ball outside. Lets it go. Rebound Toronto. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
Today's game is about effort and energy. They got crushed on the glass the last time these teams played.
Yeah, it wasn't their finest hour or finest 2 hours. It has to be a matter of pride for them this time.
And Grady Dick gets a whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
3rd team foul.
There's 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. 3-pointer, Buzelis. That one is off.
Oh, he's frustrated there. You know he wanted to come right back with a 3 of his own.
And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. It's the Raptors up by 4. And we'll see you back here after the break. 3rd quarter action in just a bit.
They've been choosy when hunting for shots, guys. I like that. Trying to capitalize on every single possession.
And now let's... Glad you could join us. Ryan Anderson.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one, as both teams trying to gain an edge. Boy, without question, Brandon Ingram displaying his skills today.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, he's been locked in tonight. Through the first 2 quarters, he's been a huge factor from outside.
They've got Walter. He's out there with Emmanuel quickly. And it's Abaji in at the 3 spot. That's the group starting the second half for Darko Rajakovic. Now here's Collins. White looking it over. 5 on the clock. Into the lane. Puts up a 3. Tipped. All by himself. Pass to Walter. Tipped. Quickly outside. The shake. And he lays it in.
Not exactly sure what the defense is thinking. You know he's going to be aggressive coming out of the half.
And during the first few seasons of Emmanuel Quickley's career, he was seen primarily as a scorer, Greg.
Yes, but recently has blossomed into a more versatile threat. The leap we've seen in his passing has been especially impressive. He's a player to watch out for moving forward.
And it's the Raptors with the ball, following the bucket by the Bulls. And there's the foul. It's on Kobe White. That's his first foul. Right around a minute and a half played in the 3rd quarter. Quickly against White. They set a pick. Shot clock at 6. Uses the glass on the layup. Quickly's gotten 4 this quarter.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
White against Quickly. White, good.
Well, as a guard like White, you need to score inside. Force teams to respect you everywhere.
Quickly drives in. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And he just driving the stake in him there.
He's a guy who just never lets up.
Yeah, they're not pulling any punches here. Even the guards are attacking the guy.
White, good.
Good, solid start to the half, hitting 3 out of 4.
Quickly outside. Outside White. To the inside. Collins. And then it's Collins with the dunk.
Well, because he's a good scorer, White attracts attention, and that creates passing lanes.
White against Quickly. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Quickly's got 8.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
Collins, high post. Boucher on him. Good work there as it goes.
And you look at how they've come out in the second half. It's almost like night and day.
Yeah, you can see it in the hustle stats. These guys have come out with a different mindset and seem much more motivated here in the second half.
They retain possession. Here's Mobo. Collins with the rebound. And so it's White with it. He brings it up for the Chicago Bulls. It's a one-point game. You know, Stan, for a team with such a proud history, the last decade has been a tough one for the Bulls.
Yeah, Brian, it really has. They've had competitive teams, but they haven't won a full playoff series since 2014. And for such a dedicated and passionate fan base, that's been really difficult for them, let alone the front office and people that want to turn this thing around as quickly as they can.
And it's amazing. Neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time.
Yeah, these guys are leaving it all on the floor tonight.
Now here's White. He's got 5. Basket's good. White's got 7 now in this quarter.
You gotta commend the concentration White showed there. He doesn't get thrown off kilter easily.
Quickly deciding where to go with it. Boucher a screen on White. Second chance shot. And the basket by Boucher. Boucher's gotten his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, that's a nice hustle play, but boy, it drives the coach crazy to concede second chance point.
Williams with the screen. White, good.
See, now that layup isn't possible without the help of the pick.
And there's a pick. Quickly from outside. It's not going to go for him. Dosunmu, the pass to Collins. The 3-ball. That shot is off. Kobe White, he's feeling it tonight. And he's been the driving force for the Bulls. Hunting for opportunity. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is great.
3 tense quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we get ready for the 4th. On the court for the Bulls, getting the 4th quarter going. We've got Buzelis. Jalen Smith is out there with Nikola Vucevic. And it's Josh Giddey, and it's Ball in at the point.
Well, give a guy like Ingram some room, and he will put it down on you.
Here's Giddey. Lays it up and banks it in. Giddey's got 4 points in the quarter.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense.
Ingram deciding where to go with it. Barnes the screen. Ingram with the ball. Guarded by Smith.
Yeah, huge game from Ingram. He does this so often. Maybe one of the most overlooked stars in the league.
Ball outside. Picked by Smith. Ball no good.
Well, sometimes it's just not your night. But despite his struggles, they're ahead in the game.
Yeah, when you look at Barnes' assist numbers, they show you can run your offense through him, not your average wing.
Here's Buzelis, and he dunks it down. Coming down the stretch, it's still anyone's game.
Incredible effort and energy on both sides. These guys must be gassed.
Outside Barnes. Back to Ingram. Ball with the rebound.
I'm sure he'd like to have that back. That's a missed opportunity.
A mistake by the defense. You can't let Ball's teammates get open because he will find them.
Barnes against Smith. Outside Barnes. Outside Ingram. Right side Barnes. No good from outside. Chicago leading by 3. Ball into the lane. It's rebounded by Dick.
That's the shot you hope for. Right at the rim. Just couldn't capitalize.
Ingram finds Pirtle. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
This is when your interior D has to be on high alert.
Giddey against Barrett. Right side Giddey. Vucevic, the pass to Giddey. Off target from outside.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Ingram throws it down, and the official calls a foul. It may be a three-point play. That one on Giddey. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Raptors?
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep. And until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
And they've been letting it rain from the mid-range. A throwback approach that's really working well for them in this one.
Barrett against Vucevic. Good on the bucket.
Those are some veteran instincts there by Vooch, knowing the situation and giving his team needed points.
Outside Barnes. A minute 15 left to play in the fourth quarter of this one.
When it comes down to crunch time, Barnes wants the ball in his hands.
And Ball throws it down.
Easy to understand why they leave Ball out here in these moments. He knows how to deliver.
Ingram with a screen on Smith. Outside for Ingram. Pirtle with a screen on Smith. To the middle. Cash.
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Vucevic, a screen on Barnes. Drives to the hoop.
Oh, man. Massive points from Buzelis.
And with this game coming down to the wire, they're quick to use their coach's challenge. Asking for a review. This could be a big call.
One shot. The play will be reviewed under NBA rules. There will be 2 minutes to review the play.
The NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Barnes. Money.
Oh my, just what they needed. Barnes with a crucial burst of offensive energy.
Giddey against Barrett. Pass to Smith. Missed it. Outside Dick. This one for three. It's off. So a close game sees Toronto taking this one. That was an incredible night of hoops. A tremendous finish. They waited until the very last moment to seal it.
And so many times we see these close games won by the home team.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for
take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Josh Giddey is out there with Ball. And it's Smith, and it's Vucevic, and it's Buzelis in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Pistons, the backcourt pair will be Cunningham and Ivy. Asar Thompson is out there with Isaiah Stewart. And it's Duran in at the center position. And Stewart gets it to go. Richard, this place is absolutely buzzing with anticipation. Each team with their first game of the season here tonight.
The key now is making sure your season starts with a win. That first dub is a catalyst to the start of your season. Helps you find a rhythm very early.
And so it's the Pistons getting on the board first. And Giddey gets it to go.
And how about the body control? Giddey refusing to let the defense alter that shot.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Dealing with Lonzo Ball's playmaking was at the front of his mind. He told me Lonzo's a tremendous decision maker, so we've got to be quick to close off the passing lanes. We can't let him create easy baskets. The goal is to keep Ball's impact as a playmaker down to a minimum. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. And here's Cunningham after the three-pointer from Nikola Vucevic. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. That doesn't fall. Can't drop his first shot. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose, an MVP, Jimmy Butler as well, but the results haven't been there.
Now here's Giddey. 5 to shoot for the 3. Smith. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Cunningham looking it over. Lays it up off the glass. Cunningham's got his second bucket of the night.
And this is the beauty of Cunningham. He can score from anywhere on the floor. That length, obviously, a huge advantage.
There's the pick. And a deep 3 from Ball. And a miss there on the triple. The Pistons have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Stewart finds Ivy. Stewart with a screen on Giddey. Ivy, no one around him. Offensive rebound. Duran. Nice ball movement by Detroit.
2 minutes remaining.
Duran sets the screen for Cunningham. And they take the lead. Cunningham's got 6 points.
And smart choice by Cunningham, using the floater to get that one to go.
And it's Ball penetrating. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Asar Thompson. That's his first foul. Stolen by Thompson. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
1:35 left to play in the first quarter. Cunningham outside. Rebound by Smith.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Even though he is capable of hitting that shot, I'd like to see him work for a better look in that situation.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Yeah, that's nice execution, running with purpose and creating an easy scoring opportunity off the break.
Now Vucevic following the three-point attempt by Cade Cunningham. Giddey the pass to Vucevic. Just 5 to shoot. Buzelis, no one around him. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. Buzelis has got his second basket of the game. Here's Cunningham. That's good, and it's his 4th basket of the game. He's a strong 4 for 6.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Giddey kicks to Vucevic. Giddey goes in.
And I love watching Giddey take it strong to the basket. The D has got to be aware of it.
Cunningham outside. Hits it from three-point range. Cunningham's got 11 points.
He is getting it done on the offensive end. 5 buckets through 7 shots.
Ball, the pass to Giddey. Ball sets a screen for Giddey. The kick out to Ball. It'll count. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Cade Cunningham making things happen for the... And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Well, let's see if they're able to keep it up. So far, their shot selection and ball movement has been on point.
So for Chicago right now, Jalen Smith is out there with Buzelis. Then it's Josh Giddey. Then there's Lonzo Ball. And it's Vucevic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
The ability to stretch the floor is such a dangerous weapon for Vuce and his team.
And Greg, for longtime Pistons fans, that Bad Boys era was so special.
I mean, Detroit's a tough, hard-working town. And those teams did have great talent led by Isaiah Thomas, but it was their physical, intimidating style of play that made them the Bad Boys.
Here's Buzelis. Following the basket by Cade Cunningham. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
Look at the moves from Buzelis. The big fella showing great quickness on the attack.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Jalen Duren, a physical specimen, is improving the finer points of his game, including his vision. He said, "I feel like I've always been a good passer. I've developed more of that as my young career has gone on, understanding the league better and how to win." Kevin?
Yeah, you know, it takes time, but nice to see his development. Now, here's Cunningham. 13 points in the game. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Buzelis. Covered by Cunningham. Buzelis with the ball. It's Cunningham with the rebound. Ivy against Giddey. Shot's good by Duren. Duren's got his first bucket in this one.
And there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Smith with a screen on Ivy. Out to Smith. Back to Giddey. For 3. And the rebound goes to the Pistons. And the foul called on Josh Giddey. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And eventually, every player, GA, has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or two against the young fellas. And sometimes, that is a very slow realization.
It is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
Clock is at 3. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter, with about 3 minutes gone by. Giddey against Ivy. The kick out to Cunningham. Lets it go with the 3. That's tipped.
Making good use of his length. Buzelis able to track down the block that time.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
And great for Buzelis. Basketball has been a part of his family for generations.
Yeah, how about that? Both his parents played professionally in Lithuania, as did both of his grandfathers. And his dad now works with the Lithuanian men's national team as a physiotherapist.
They get it back. And Thompson kicks to Stewart. Here's Durant. Pass to Stewart. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
There's 57 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Clock at 4. Stewart, a screen for Ivy. Buries the long-range jumper. Ivy's got the lead up to 3 now for the Pistons.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Giddey, the pass to Vucevic. Back to Giddey. Outside, Ball. And it's Giddey in the corner. Ball, a screen on Cunningham. Giddey with it. Now defended by Cunningham. Giddey, no good.
Not that time, but that's a shot that he's going to make more oftentimes than not.
Cunningham against Giddey. And they double up Cunningham. Here's Ivy. Another 3 for Detroit.
Yet another 3. Once we hit the second quarter, it just seems as if those threes just started to fall like raindrops.
Ball kicks to Vucevic from the arc. And so is Detroit with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. He'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
Come one, come all. The 2K halftime is here.
You look at the Pistons, like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah, everyone starts out And turning our attention to the first half of our game tonight, bit of a rocky start for the Chicago Bulls. And that is it for half.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You look at Cade Cunningham in this game, he's been everywhere.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
I like how they came into this one with a game plan, and they're just going out and executing it. Terrific job.
We've got Dennis Schroeder. Harris is out there with Paul Reed. Then there's Hardaway, and it's Beasley in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for J.B. Bickerstaff as we begin the second half. Now, here is Reed. Outside Hardaway. Shoots over Horton Tucker. And that one comes up a bit short. Bulls trail by 4. And now here comes Collins leading the break. Williams passes to White. There's the pick. Shoots the 3. Sinks the three-pointer.
And you have got to honor White on the perimeter. Once he gets comfortable from there, it's going to be bad news for the defense.
Now here is Hardaway. Still without a basket. And he sinks that one in the back of the rim on the way in. And the Pistons lead by 3. And we know injuries derailed last season for the Bulls, Greg, but with an aging core, you wonder where they go from here.
I mean, the Bulls are kind of stuck in the middle of things as it now stands. Not quite good enough to make a run in the East, but not in a position where they need to start over.
They get it back. In the corner, Reed with it. Latrey. The shot comes out.
Rough start to the second half for them, only getting one of the past 4 shots to fall.
For the lead, and the layup good by Collins. Collins has got his first basket.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Hardaway, and then Hardaway with the dunk.
It's good to see Hardaway not sitting back and attacking the rim.
Bulls have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. Collins setting the big for White. Launches it. Rebounded by the Pistons.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. White looking around. On the wing, Dosunmu. Williams, a screen on Beasley. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Dosunmu.
And we talk about the importance of versatility. He's really got it all on the offensive end.
Reed back to Hardaway. Harris setting the pick for Hardaway. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Reed misses.
Yeah, that's a shame because I'm not sure the defense will let him get a shot that good again very soon.
Hey, Greg, Kobe White has proven he can run the show.
Well, he's more than just a scorer. He's become a quality playmaker with better decision-making. But his biggest improvement has been his efficiency.
Scooped up. Out to White. Pass to Horton Tucker. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Harris. This is his first chance at the line tonight. First one falls for
Horton Tucker.
Both free throws good from Horton Tucker. We've got 1:13 left in the third. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Reed. And the dunk by Reed.
The vision of Hardaway Jr. He scanned the floor and found his teammate.
Schroeder against White. In the corner, Collins with it. Hardaway with the steal. There's Schroeder. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Rate of baskets assisted, it's a stat I really like. It tells the story of how well you are playing team offense.
And White kicks to Collins. The kick out to Williams. Collins setting the pick for Williams. Good on the three-point shot. Williams has got it all tied up now for the Bulls.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You got to show some fire and keep defending.
Now here is Hardaway. He's got 6. 6 to shoot. No good on the last second attempt there. And we wrap up the third and looking to be an exciting. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Not just playing selflessly, but also making a smart decision with the ball.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group that Billy Donovan has on the floor. They've got Dosunmu, Talen Horton-Tucker out there with Kobe White. Then there's Patrick Williams. And it's Collins in at the center, filling out the middle. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. The Bulls shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Vucevic, a screen on Ivy. Giddey, no one around him. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. Out to the right wing. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Smith.
Oh, my goodness, man. Selfless player. Vucevic finding his man all alone.
Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. Here's the three. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Vucevic kicks to Giddey. Here's Buzelis. Guarded by Stewart. Fires from deep. Thompson with the rebound.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the recoverage pay.
Ivy with the bucket.
Oh, how about the quick thinking by Ivy? I love when he goes right at it with the shot.
Now, here's Ball. Driving to the basket. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Vucevic is screen on Thompson. Back to Vucevic. Here's Buzelis. He's covered by Thompson. The shot by Buzelis, no good. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Stewart, a screen for Ivy. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in. Buzelis with the ball, picked up by Thompson. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. And stolen by Ivy. 4-on-3 break. Here's Cunningham. And Cunningham with the slam.
Yes, sir. Kay Cunningham embracing the role of a leader.
Giddey against Ivy. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Vucevic. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Giddey. Takes the 3. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 4 assists now tonight. Now here's Cunningham. He's guarded closer. Stewart passes to Cunningham. A three-pointer off the mark. The Bulls leading by 3. Smith with it. Jordan picks him up. Smith dishes to Vucevic. Back to Smith. Beyond the arc. Ooh, the double clutch. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Who's the big man makes the biggest play of the night?
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Chicago.
All game long, they've been making it rain from the arc. And look, they've done it by feeding the hot hands.
And tonight we've also seen a lot of great play from them inside. They've been consistent in terms of attacking the interior of this D.
56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. Money!
Oh, that is big time by a big-time player. Cunningham loves the moment.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possession.
Ivy against Giddey. It drops.
Stone cold stuff there from Josh Giddey. Big time shot in the moment.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. It's good. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher. And coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone. Until someone stops him, just let it roll.
Now here's Ball. Vucevic is screen on Cunningham. Pass to Buzelis. 5 on the clock. And stolen by Thompson.
And it's all about the 3 right here.
We'll see what they draw up. Three-pointer is a must.
And the timeout called here by Billy Donovan. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. Deep two from Ball. Oh, it's off the mark. And we're going to overtime. And that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. Well, 4 quarters weren't enough to decide this ballgame. Sit back and enjoy as we move on to overtime. Now, here's Cunningham. The backcourt pair will be Cunningham and Ivy. Isaiah Stewart out there with Asar Thompson. And it's Duren in at the 5 spot. Now, here's Ivy. There's the drive. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ivy's got the first basket here in overtime for the Pistons.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And Vucevic with the basket on the assist by Ball. Vucevic has got the game tied up here for Chicago. Cunningham outside. Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Buzelis.
Tough stuff from Cunningham inside, enduring the foul and able to get that one off.
And in a close game like this, they can really rely on him to take care of business at the line.
Here's Ball. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And Ball is such an effective two-way player. Takes smart shots on offense and really hustles on defense.
Ball hits them both. Overtime still getting started here, just about a minute in.
2 minutes remaining.
Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. Pass to Stewart. It's stolen by Buzelis. It's tipped. Stewart with the steal. At the elbow, it's Thompson. And it's Thompson with the jam.
And when he lets the athleticism take over, Thompson can do almost anything.
Ball against Cunningham. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Jalen Duren.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
I'd like to call a little attention to Ball's determination, both on and off the court. You throw a challenge at him, and he will do everything in his power to overcome it. Certainly some pressure on those free throws, but he still delivered.
Now, here's Cunningham. Ivy on the wing. Giddy defending. Tries it from 19. Again, the Pistons good for 2.
It's like Ivy has that 6th sense of where his teammates are on the floor.
Smith sets the pick for Ball. Driving the lane. Up and in on the lane.
That is just a big shot from Ball. I like seeing him step up and show that leadership.
Stewart, a screen for Cunningham. Yes!
Well, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
He knew what they needed here and was determined to deliver. And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the plate and doing just enough to bother him at the rim.
To Duren. Ball against Stewart. Back to Duren. Stewart up top. On the clock. It drops.
A quality pass, setting up a quality shot. It's just textbook basketball.
No time to waste on this possession.
Clock working against them right now.
Here's Giddy. It counts. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And I love going to Giddy there at 6'8" with his skill. Can get that one off anytime he wants. A great job to get the bucket and to get to the line. When the game's on the line, you want your guys attacking like he did there. And they do have a foul to give. And no secret here, guys. They've got to get a 3 if we're going to get yet another overtime.
Buzelis sends a screen for Giddy. To tie. No good. And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the
this one as I am. Some of the league's most exciting talent on the floor.
Oh, my, man. I am most definitely up for this one. With the athleticism on both sides, there's going to be no shortage of highlights.
So the Raptors starting 5. Barnes and Pirtle down low at the 4 and 5. Grady Dick out there with R.J. Barrett. And it's Ingram in at the 3. Now here's Ingram. Barnes with a screen on Thompson. Pass to Barrett. Down low. Here's Pirtle. The rebound by Detroit. Last time they met in Toronto, where they beat the Raptors.
And I'll tell you, that was not an easy environment to play in. It was a hostile crowd on the road, but it didn't bother them at all.
Well, the best way to silence a crowd is with your offensive game. Those fans got quiet in a hurry when the buckets started raining down.
And just active inside. Ivy's a guard who's more at home around the hoop, not the three-point line.
The 3 from Barnes. They get it back. The ball's knocked loose. Ingram against Thompson. Pass to Duren. Cunningham outside. Duren with a screen on Barrett. Cunningham looking it over. 6 on the shot clock. Stewart outside. From outside, off the mark. First minute and a half of basketball played here in this one. The 3, Barrett. And the three-pointer goes.
Well, you have to understand, spacing is provided when you can make threes. R.J. Barrett delivers.
And one thing we've seen from R.J. Barrett, he likes playing in a system where they move the ball, Doris.
And he likes BA when that ball moves in his direction. R.J. Barrett is a thirsty scorer. He can go off the bounce. He's working really hard to shore up that perimeter game. He has got a tremendous future.
The Raptors have gone 1 for 3 so far. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, JB Bickerstaff had a few moments to share with me. We got to talking about Brandon Ingram, and I asked how Coach thought they might limit him tonight. Coach told me, well, there's nothing we can do about his size and his length, so we're hoping just to frustrate him and keep him off balance by getting up in his business and contesting shots. Hopefully that plan pans out for them, guys.
And Allie, thanks. Now here's Dick. Outside Ingram from the arc. The rebound by Stewart.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Here's Cunningham. To the left side wing. Stewart against Pirtle. It's Stewart, high post. Count that bucket.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Now here's Ingram. 7-point differential.
The length of Ingram is something else. Gets up to slam it in a second's notice because of it.
Cunningham against Barrett. And now the Raptors on the break. Here's Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Stewart, no good.
That's not his spot, but given the lack of defense, you'd like to see him knock that one down.
All right, Grant, I have to ask you, has there ever been a more intimidating team than the old bad boy Pistons?
Well, they weren't fancy, but they played hard and they played physical basketball. Every team that faced those Detroit teams knew they were in for a battle.
It's stolen by Barnes. Here comes Toronto on the push. Here's Barrett. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Well, R.J. Barrett wants to get in transition and get a basket before the defense can settle in.
Ivy, and a strong finish with 2 hands.
And he gives up some size inside, but makes a great adjustment on the finish.
Well, he's attacking, he's forcing the issue, and that's simply stated a terrific play.
Now here's Dick. Ingram with a screen on Cunningham. Here's Dick. Oh, throw it down!
Can you say elevation? penetration.
Oh, and he slams it down. Wow.
Now, I know he makes it look easy, but it takes incredible physical tools to pull that off.
Athleticism and explosion.
And this is what makes Ivy special, his ability to finish with power at the rim.
And the call will be against Brandon Ingram. That's his first foul of the game.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter here. It's stolen by Pirtle. And here again, the Raptors in transition. Up the court they go. And a slam dunk by Ingram.
Oh, the athleticism of Ingram. Exceptional at skying up for slams.
Ivy outside. Hey, how's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
And both teams already firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, this is already a high-scoring game, but we knew that was a possibility coming into this one.
Tie game in Detroit. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. And getting it going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And looking at what we've seen from Detroit, what do you guys think?
Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, cashing in on extra opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Yeah, the defense hasn't been there. They are getting hammered on second chance opportunities.
So for Toronto right now, Barnes and Pirtle down low at the 4 and 5. RJ Barrett out there with Dick. And it's Ingram in at the 3. You know, Grant, an underrated area of improvement for Scotty Barnes has been his defense.
You're spot on, B.A. I mean, we've seen an elevated intensity from him on that end. Finding more denials, attacking the ball, really proving himself as an effective stopper.
Now here's Cunningham. 23 points his last outing. 4 on the clock. Toronto grabs the miss. Pirtle's got his 5th rebound in this one. Cunningham against Barrett. Unable to get that one. Cunningham with some nice D. 3-pointer. Offensive board. And the dunk by Duren.
You have to put a body on Duren. He's quick, he's athletic, and he has that 7'5" wingspan.
Ingram deciding where to go with it. There's the 3. Count it. His 3rd and 5 attempts.
This guy can do so much for you on the offensive end, and that is why his number gets called time and time again.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Cade Cunningham has really been improving from distance. He said early in his career he was playing a lot of minutes, and stepping back to the NBA three-point line, he just didn't have enough legs in his shot. After his shin surgery, he redefined his form and strengthened his legs. Ryan, he said it helped a lot.
That could be a silver lining of all that time off, Allie. Pass to Pirtle, outside Barnes, and stolen by Cunningham. Here we go, and there's the call on Scotty Barnes. That's his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's the teardrop, and Ivy lays it up and in. Ivy's got 5 points now in the quarter. Very early in the season, but a lot of excitement still in the air, Graham.
No question, B.A. I mean, the fan base will usually carry it until their team is mathematically eliminated. Fans in this league are so passionate about their teams. And that's one of the things that makes the NBA so great.
Oh, what a performance offensively.
They're really rolling at that end. Excellent game.
Out of bounds, Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession.
He clipped the ball there, but not enough to nab the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Boucher's checked in for Pirtle. Now here's Ivy. 16 points for him. Shot clock at 5. Fires from the wing. That is Boucher with the rebound. Toronto's gone 3 of 6 from deep so far. Here's Barnes. And a missed layup. The Pistons leading. After their title in 2019, the Raptors have struggled to stay among the league's elite stores.
Well, think about it, B.A. The driver of that title success was Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. Both of those players are gone. Very hard to replace players of that caliber. Almost inevitable they were going to take a step back.
Now here's Stewart. Gets the 3 ball to go. Stewart's got 5 now.
Now shooting the 3 ball at almost 60%. They've been blazing this second quarter.
Ingram on the wing. They set the pick. Has to dig. Back to Ingram to stop the run. Duran with the rebound.
Oh, it was a great effort defensively. Get a hand up in the face of the shooter. It's so important.
Stewart finds Duran. Back to Stewart. Thompson outside. Stewart left side. Yes, and a nice assist from Thompson. Stewart's gotten his 3rd basket of the night.
I'll tell you, he's having his way right now in the second period. Forget the first quarter. Let's get to work.
Barrett against Ivy. Barrett passes to Dick. And out of bounds. The Pistons will take it.
Pistons basketball.
40 seconds left to play in the first half. Ivy outside. Out to the wing. Beyond the arc. And it's Boucher with the rebound. Raptors trail by 6.
And they can run out the clock here. No need to rush it.
Well, it's trying to close the quarter strong, and by that, take a great shot without giving them an opportunity for another one down the other end.
Now here's Ivy. Guarded by Dick. Pass to Stewart. Here's Cunningham. Back to Stewart. 4-3. Nails it from beyond the arc. He's got 10.
Willing passes, unselfish play. You have to appreciate this kind of offense.
And so it's Detroit closing out the quarter with a 7-point lead. Great shot selection right now, keeping the game simple and getting high percentage looks. Back to the game after this break.
Look at Detroit. You really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason.
Yeah, you have big.
And returning our attention to this game, an impressive first half for the Pistons.
Dominant performance from this off.
And that's it for halftime.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. You gotta like what Jaden Ivey has done in this game.
His whole first half looked like a highlight reel, rising up and just owning the rim.
Yeah, this guy, he plays fast, he's aggressive, and if you let him get to the cup, there is nothing that you can do about it.
Tim Hardaway is out there with Dennis Schroeder. Then there's Tobias Harris. Then there's Simone Fontecchio. And it's Reed in at the center position. That's J.B. Bickerstaff's 5 as we get going in the second half.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Right, you could see on that possession, one side playing with a little desperation, the other side losing focus.
Here's Abaji. And there's the screen. Inside. Here's Mobo. The jump hook. It's deflected. Hardaway up top. Schroeder passes to Fontecchio. And the Pistons making a change here. Beasley's checked in.
First personal foul. First team foul.
About a minute played here in the second half. For 3, Hardaway nails it from 3. Hardaway's got his first 3 points of the game.
Wow, the big-time range is evident from Hardaway Jr. Go ahead, send it in.
And playing for his next contract, Tim Hardaway Jr. is motivated to get it going, Doris.
Well, B.A., his best skill is obviously that three-point shooting. When he's near 40%, the impact he can have on your ability to score is tremendous. The floor spacing he provides is critical. How about that burst of speed? Tim Hardaway Hardaway Jr. Whoa!
The three from Quickly. Drops in the three.
Boy, that's 3 for 4 this half. You like that they're starting with a little bit of extra energy. Nice.
Picked by Reed. From behind the arc. And there's the foul. It'll go on Tim Hardaway. That's his first foul of the game.
First personal foul.
Raptors trail by 5. Quickly outside. They set the pick. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. All right, Grant, which U.S.-born player do you think has the best chance to supplant LeBron as the face of the league?
Oh, man, you're putting me on the spot, B.A. Well, the conversation has to be between Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, and Anthony Edwards. They're the best young talent that the U.S. has to offer, and they're only getting better.
Now here's Hardaway. He's got 5. Beasley outside. 6 to shoot. Here's Reed. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
Hey, if you can't block it, sending him to the line could be the next best thing.
Something this Raptors team does very well is move the ball doors.
Yeah, B.A., this is an unselfish group of guys. They like moving the basketball, getting everybody involved. Amazing when a team has everybody touch it, how good it feels.
Now here's Quickly. He's got 5. And the Raptors miss again. Detroit leading by 5. That's tipped. Pass to Boucher. On the take. Here's Abaji. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Back to Boucher. Shot clock at 6. And the Raptors miss again. Detroit has gone only 1 of 3 from deep here in the third.
Walker. First personal foul. 13 foul.
There's 1:54 left in the third quarter. Right wing. Back to Hardaway. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Reed. Let's go with a 3. Buries it from 3. Reed's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, Tim Hardaway Jr., a better playmaker than maybe people think. This guy very good at breaking the defense down.
Boucher a screen on Schroeder. Schroeder against Quickly. Excellent D there from Reed.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Hardaway, no good. Raptors trail by 8. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Brian. Well, the Pistons have struggled despite the improvement of their young cornerstone, Cade Cunningham. He said, quote, "This league rewards winning. People are going to say everything I'm doing is empty and meaningless until I win games. That's what I plan on doing, and once I do that, all the other stuff will come with it." Guys?
That's a great perspective to keep right there, Allie. Thank you.
Couldn't quite line that one up. Just got to shake it off and move on to the next one.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
At the line for your Pistons.
The free throw drops for Harris.
Capable of playing both the 3 and 4 spots, Harris's versatility is his greatest strength.
Detroit leading by 9. And Boucher, here we go. And the shot goes down. Boucher's got his first points of the night.
They're really looking to that inside game here in the second half, getting away from taking a bunch of threes.
Hardaway, the pass to Reed. Hardaway up top. 5 points in the game. Stolen by Quickly. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Abaji. He's guarded by Beasley. Boucher, no good. And here's Hardaway to the paint. And Harris throws it down.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
And so it's Detroit with a 9-point cushion. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth quarter. So for the Raptors right now, Barnes and Pirtle down low at the 4 and 5. Grady Dick out there with R.J. Barrett. And it's Ingram in at the 3. Ingram with a screen on Stewart. Here's Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
You can see how well Scotty Barnes moves on a basketball floor. And I mean that north and south, and what hops this young man has.
Outside Ingram. Outside Barrett. 6 on the shot clock. To the inside. Here's Barnes. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
They have no answer defensively inside.
The Pistons lead by 3. Cunningham outside. Stewart outside. Cunningham against Pirtle. Cunningham into the lane. Out to Thompson. Here's Ivy. Pass to Duran. It's stolen by Ingram. Here comes Toronto on the push. Barnes passes to Ingram. And a slam dunk by Ingram.
They've been aggressive during this run, but they've also played under control.
I think the communication on offense is working at every level right now. What a run for this group.
Oh, man. He got fancy with that finish.
He may be trying to provide the spark they need to break this one open. Thompson with a steal. Fast break. Here we go. Ivy with the ball. And it's Ingram picking him up. And that's out of bounds. Last touch by Ivy. Raptors trail by 3. A touch under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Here's Barrett. Ivy with the defensive effort.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
Here's Cunningham. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. That's on Jakob Pirtle.
I love big guards, and Cunningham using the size to perfection.
Boucher's checked in for Toronto.
This guy has a reputation for being a great free throw shooter, and you've got to knock him down. He does it here.
Barnes a screen. Here's Ingram going inside. And a slam dunk by Ingram.
This guy is just a gamer. Ingram doesn't feel pressure. He embraces the moment, taking and making important shots.
Here's Cunningham. Ooh, assertive from Cunningham.
Not afraid of taking big shots. Cunningham rises to the occasion and delivers.
And stolen by Cunningham. Pass to Ivy. Takes a 3. Oh, that's his 8th make of the game. He's only missed 4 so far. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Pistons?
Yeah, they've collected an impressive number of steals so far, using fast hands to force some turnovers and then scoring on the other end.
But they've also been scoring on the break with how difficult it is to get buckets in the half court. Anytime you can push the ball in transition for easy ones, that's big time.
And we continue to watch the rise of Ingram. He just keeps adding to his offensive repertoire.
And a slam dunk by Ingram.
And that's gotta hurt. A turnover for a free run at the rim.
And now we know who has the momentum.
It's still close, though. These teams have been neck and neck. Let's see the response here.
Ivy passes to Stewart. Out to Thompson. Back to Stewart. Clock is at 3. And they forced a shot clock violation. Great D. Raptors trail by 4. 1:04 left to play in the fourth. Outside for Ingram. Barnes with a screen on Thompson. Ingram.
Yeah! And the stakes were high right there. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
I love it. I mean, great ball movement by Ivy.
Here's Toronto with the ball. Here's Barrett with the drive. Here's Dick. Offensive rebound. Barnes passes to Boucher. Barrett up top. Pass to Barnes. For 3. And he sinks it. Oh, what a sensational bucket. That brings him within 1. And they foul intentionally. Now they're going to have to do that again. They're not in the penalty just yet.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. He hits the first one, and that'll put him up 2. So he gets them both. And it's a 3-point game.
Well, those are essential free throws to make a 3-point lead. It's going to take something from long range now to tie this game.
And Darko Rajakovic has called a timeout. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. Given the situation here, what sort of strategy needs to be top of mind?
Tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
And it's either got to be a three-pointer or a score quickly and take the foul.
Ingram into the lane.
And a solid pick to free him up for the dunk.
Boy, the timing there couldn't be any better.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
team.
Opening day here for both of these teams. Brent Barry, the fans are full of optimism.
Well, the seeds have been planted in the offseason, Kevin. What's about to bloom for these franchises as the year goes on? I mean, lots of movement around the league, but it's about the growth of your favorite team and watching these storylines play out as teams march towards the playoffs. A long ways away, but tonight's where it starts.
Here are the five for the Raptors. Barnes and Pirtle make up the inside pair. Grady Dick is out there with Barrett. And it's Ingram in at the 3 spot. And the shot goes in.
So again, big guards. That helps out. And Ball using that to his advantage on the inside.
Let's send it out to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Billy Donovan. David?
And their focus on defense, Brandon Ingram. Coach told me Brandon presents unique problems. It's the skill and size combination. You just don't see it too often. Anytime Ingram touches the ball, everyone will be focused on stopping him. Should be a good one tonight.
Thank you, David.
Oh, defense did not see that coming as Giddey goes for the jam.
Brent, some early success for Josh Giddey in the NBA. When you look at his game, what do you like most?
I love the vision, Kevin. This guy is one of the most creative passers that the NBA has and is willing to take some risks. And the reason he does that is he has confidence in his teammates. But that vision by Josh Giddey is something special.
Now, here's Ball. Brandon Ingram missing his last shot. Here's Buzelis. He's covered by Ingram. Picked by Vucevic. He takes it in. Shot clock at 5. And they pick up 2.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here's Barnes. He had 35 points last game out. Ingram up top. Smith against Barnes. And the layup's good off the glass.
You know Scotty's working on that shot. I like him getting inside, though. That's where he can use that touch.
Now, here's Ball. Tight defense on him. Pass to Giddey. And the foul called on Josh Giddey. That's his first foul.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Ingram deciding where to go with it. Connects from 3-point range.
And Ingram seems just more and more confident in his ability to shoot from the 3-point line.
To the inside. And Vucevic throws it down.
Not getting old here. Seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
Barnes sets a screen for Ingram.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
Driving in and slam dunk by Ingram.
Well, the length of Ingram on display, outstanding at finding a lane, and then he explodes through it.
There's Ball with the 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Giddey. Drops in the tray. Giddey's got 5. He's back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Now here's Ingram. Defense is right there. Out to Barrett. Clock at 6. Launches a 3. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Barrett had some time to focus there, and he made that one count.
Vucevic setting the pick for Ball. Pass to Vucevic. Fires for 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Ingram outside. Pirtle with the ball. And the rejection by Smith. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And here's Ingram from the arc. Buries it from three-point range. Ingram's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Toronto. Here's Ball, and Ball slams it in.
And don't be surprised when it is that Lonzo Ball rises up like that. He can get it done.
Ingram outside, and Buzelis gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Ingram finds Pirtle. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on Vucevic.
Well, you got a 7-footer that's 2.5 bills. Pirtle is tough to handle in close.
Both free throws good from Pirtle. Bulls trail by 4. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Giddey. It's rebounded by Dick. Toronto's gone 3 of 4 on 3-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Ingram passes to Dick. Ingram a screen on Giddey. Driving to the basket. Dick can't get it to go. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. It's the Raptors up 4. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. What do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
Coming in hot. They were sharp from the perimeter right out of the gate.
They just couldn't seem to know what it was that they needed to do and how to stick them from outside. The defense pretty lost.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Barnes and Pirtle make up the inside pair. Barrett is out there with Grady Dick. And it's Ingram in at the small forward. Pirtle sets the pick for Barrett. Going inside. And it's Chicago with the rebound. And there's a whistle that goes on Scotty Barnes. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Ball. Off the inbound, no good. Toronto leading by 4. It's Ingram on the wing, covered by Smith. His 3-pointers off the mark. Into the Bulls, shooting at 50% in a decent group.
And everybody loves a big man that can pass. And Vucevic putting his vision on full display there.
It's Dick on the wing. He's covered by Ball. Here's Barnes. Back to Dick. Ingram outside. Barnes sets a screen for Ingram. The long distance 3 is buried. Ingram's got the lead up to 4 now for Toronto.
I love the confidence. BI from way out there.
There aren't too many players with a skill set as diverse as Brandon Ingram.
Yes, Kevin, you got to appreciate the tools that Brandon Ingram possesses. That comes with a lot of hard work. But this guy can score over smaller defenders. He's creative enough to draw contact against bigger guys and use that quickness. He's always been a scorer, but his playmaking ability over the past couple seasons, that's something that's growing and is giving them a chance to be very competitive.
Bulls have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Here's Smith. And it's all evened up. Smith's got 5 points now this quarter. And Barnes has got the ball here for the Raptors. And he drives in, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
Yeah, everybody trying to get away from one another, and the threads are keeping them close. This has been highly competitive.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
You're right. What a performance. Hey, Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. Pass to Buzelis. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
Throwing it down, not necessarily Buzelis' game, but don't give him that much space.
Near the three-point line, it's Ingram. Barnes against Smith. Ingram setting a pick for Barnes. Just 5 to shoot. Three-pointer. And Brandon Ingram hits from deep. Ingram's got 8 points in the quarter.
He's going to force them to have to make adjustments. That's number 4 in terms of triples in the half.
Giddy against Barrett. Now here's Giddy. He's guarded closely. And the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6. And the dunk by Barnes.
Scotty's such a good dunker. This is why the D can't let Barnes get that deep inside.
Ball surveying the defense. Vucevic setting the pick for Ball. And Ball slams it in.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, why settle for the layup when you can attack the rim and rise up like that?
First personal foul. First team foul.
Smith against Barnes. It's Dick on the wing. 6 to shoot. Ingram a screen on Ball. Here's Dick.
Well, he can guard multiple positions, and Lonzo Ball's versatility helping out on that possession.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
And Grady Dick gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
3rd team foul.
Giddy against Barrett. Vucevic with it. Got it up. And that one released in time, but no good. And a close game so far for the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Raptors lead by 1. And we'll get going after this from United Center.
Two quarters of play completed out in Indiana. It'll be the Pacers against the Thunder. 8:30 Eastern time for the tip there.
Gentlemen.
And what about Brandon Ingram, fellas? We've seen some good stuff from him in this game.
Well, he's in the zone shooting it every time he...
And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Brandon Ingram has been sensational.
Yeah, and the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
Yeah, he keeps tracking down those spots behind the three-point line and finding some open opportunities.
So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group that Billy Donovan has on the floor. Taylor Horton-Tucker out there with White. Then it's Collins. Then there's Dosunmu, and it's Williams at the 4.
Off and running right out the bat here to start the second half.
Quickly against White. Here he goes. Collins wide open. He fires. Boucher with the rebound.
So weird. Sometimes when you get that much time, it can throw you off just as much as having no time.
They set the screen. Here's Abaji. Defended by Dosunmu. Shot clock at 3. Here's Boucher. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline.
Raptors foul. Abaji. First personal foul. First team foul.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Outside, White. And the layup is good.
Yeah, attacking the interior is something White does well. He's crafty, and he makes good adjustments against the defense.
To the paint, here's Boucher, and the dunk by Boucher.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Collins setting the big for White. Outside Collins. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. Number one, the Raptors.
Do they love to run? I mean, nobody did it better. They would get out in the lanes and push the ball even after makes.
Collins, a great high-energy player, and that's something coaches really appreciate, that players are going to come in and give them that kind of effort on a nightly basis. Makes it pretty tough on the defense. Who you're going to pick to send to the free throw line? And he's hitting the free throws right now. Form looks good.
And here's quickly for three. And it's Chicago with the rebound. For the lead, Boucher with the rebound.
The third quarter has not started well. Just 1 of 4.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, the Raptors are rebuilding with purpose. Coach Darko Rajakovic said, "We're doing a good job at the start of this process, selecting the right people that care and are very committed to each other." That's a good baseline to build on. Kevin, slowly, the pieces are falling into place.
David, you're so right. He is great at developing those young players.
The athleticism and blinding speed White possesses is impressive. This guy plays with a lot of moxie.
Here's quickly. Pass to Abaji. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A floater. And it's laid in by Boucher. Boucher's got his third basket of the night right there.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
2 minutes.
Here's Horton Tucker. It's good from long range. 7 late changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan.
Inside, Brown. White against Quickly. White looking around. Outside Collins. Nine feet out. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. The Raptors have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Boucher passes to Abaji. And that's a foul called on Zach Collins. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
.103 left in the third quarter. Boucher in the post. Working on Collins. Shots good by Boucher.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Now, Horton Tucker. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Horton Tucker's got 5 points now in the quarter. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
We've got 33 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Bulls with the lead. On the wing, Williams pulls up. Wide open shot is on the money. Williams has got his first points in this one.
And a solid playmaker. White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
Boucher sets a screen for Quickly. And there it is for him.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
outside, White. The 3 ball. He can't get it to go. And we just finished the 3rd quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. It's the Bulls up by 1. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the one today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, anytime a guy's in the post and the teammates know he's unselfish, great player movement can create an opportunity just like that.
R.J. Barrett.
3/10 quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. So the Raptors 5 right now. Barnes and Pirtle make up the inside pair. Grady Dick is out there with R.J. Barrett. And it's Ingram in at the 3. And White kicks to Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Horton Tucker. And no good that time. Raptors with the lead. Barrett with the ball. He's picked up by White. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Barnes dishes to Ingram. Barnes sets a screen for Ingram. Chicago grabs the miss. Here's Buzelis. Can't finish the one-handed jam.
Let's hope for his sake that he does not try that one ever again.
That shot wide open. And the Raptors lead by 4.
Well, RJ right there moving without the basketball, and that helps him to get to an open spot on the floor. That creates the rhythm.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
A great example out here of just a no-quit team continuing to compete until the final buzzer.
Here's Ingram. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Ball against Barnes. And Barnes sends it back.
Good instincts from Barnes on the block. He had that shot totally anticipated.
Dick passes to Barnes. Ball against Ingram. And there's the drive. And slams up by Ingram.
And this is where that length shows off on particular plays like that. Still able to score.
Dick with the steal. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. Barnes against Vucevic. Barnes can't get it to go.
Yeah, can't see why he missed that one there. The D's close, but like plenty of room.
Out to Smith. Giddey against Pirtle.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Now here's Giddey. Into the lane. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. It goes on Brandon Ingram. In a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Toronto.
They've been in the zone from mid-range all game long, and they've made the most of any chance they've found in that space.
You probably have to touch on as well that tonight their penetration has been awesome. I mean, they put force on this game, attacking off the bounce, and the willingness to do that has paid off.
Showing improvement in that aspect of his game. Barrett wants to get better firing off the catch.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. And Giddey gets it to go.
No nerves from Josh Giddey that time.
Toronto leading by 5. And here is Barnes. And it's Barnes stabbing it down.
Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding at rising up off the ground.
Giddey with it, now guarded by Ingram. That one goes in. Giddey's got 6 in the quarter.
And how about Giddy just saying, I got you guys, get on my back, we'll ride.
Ingram outside. 51 seconds left to play in the final quarter. The kick out to Barnes. Just 5 on the clock. And the dunk by Barnes.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
And I love going to Giddy there at 6'8" with his skill. Josh can get that one off anytime he wants.
Out to Ingram. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Barnes outside. With the drive and the dunk by Barnes.
And Barnes keeping calm under pressure.
No time to waste on this possession.
Time is not on their side right now. They're aware.
The offensive rebound. Giddy. The kick out to Ball. Vucevic with it. Three-pointer. Off target. And so it's Toronto winning this one. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Alford, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our...
young team. How do you approach the season early in the schedule?
Well, Brian, the big challenge is when you have a young team is really trying to figure out who fits into what roles, what's the best way for your team to play. That takes a little longer than it does with other teams, and at times you have to modify your schemes, your rotations, and really work to figure out what you need to do.
Now a look at Detroit's starting lineup. Cunningham and Ivy work together as the backcourt. Thompson out there with Isaiah Stewart. And it's Duren in at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Ivy. Chicago making their last shot. Picked by Stewart. Clock at 6, and it's Ivy penetrating. Oh, a rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And this is what makes Ivy special, his ability to finish with power at the rim.
Well, the last time the Bulls won a playoff series was back in 2015, Grant.
That was back when Butler and Rose were their leading scorers. And that just shows you just how long it's been. But they've been stuck in mediocrity ever since. And right now, they are desperate for a breakthrough season.
And it's Detroit with the ball. The Bulls making their last shot. Ivy's shot is off. Here are the Bulls with the ball. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. There's a screen. Out to the right wing. Here's Buzelis. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Oh, nice touch on the inside play by Buzelis, adjusting from close range.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Just a bit ago, Billy Donovan and I were able to chat. I asked him what's the key to slowing down Cade Cunningham. Coach said, quote, not letting him get clean looks inside the arc. Cade is a terrific mid-range shooter and a solid finisher inside, so we just have to get a hand in his face on every shot. Limiting his production could be the difference in this game.
As always, Allie, we thank you. Here's Buzelis. He had 9 points in his last time out. And out of bounds, Detroit will have it.
Pistons ball.
Let's look at the top rebounders from last season. Number 5 is Jalen Duren.
Simply put, he was terrific down low last year, owning the glass.
And so the ball out of bounds. Duren touched it last. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 3 so far from the floor. Detroit has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Ivy. Pass to Cunningham. Back to Ivy. Kicks it out to Cunningham. 5 to shoot. Picked by Stewart. And Cunningham gets it to go on the assist by Ivy.
And what a bomb from Cunningham. He let that fly from long range.
Staying the top pick in the 2021 draft, Cade Cunningham. He's made major strides the last couple of years, but what have you seen from him?
Well, he's a big guard who can both score and create shots for his teammates. I think this guy is a winner.
Now here's Ivy. He's got 5. Pass to Stewart. And finished off by Stewart.
Well, where was the defense? You can't let a big man like Stewart get this time.
The crossover. And the shot falls short that time.
Okay, nice crossover, but it means nothing if you can't complete the shot.
Duren with a screen on Smith. Now here's Ivy. 1:19 left in the first quarter here. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line. Detroit shooting their first free throw attempt on the night. Free throw good. Ivy. Well, Coach, it's been discussed a lot, but the Detroit Pistons set a record in 2023 that no one wants to match.
Well, that's for sure, B.A. No franchise wants to suffer through a 28-game losing streak They thought that team had potential, but they just never found their footing early on, and then things just snowballed on them. Not really what we expected. You know he wants that one back.
Got a hand on it. Stewart, the pass to Cunningham. Another shot. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
And Cunningham showing his game extends above the rim.
Smith passes to Vucevic. Now Giddey. Vucevic, a screen on Ivy. Back to Vucevic. And once again, off the mark by Chicago.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Count it. Good.
And he is a hard charger. Ivy only plays at full speed. A great burst on his drives.
Smith with a screen on Cunningham. It's tipped. Giddey against Ivy. They need this. Offensive rebound. Vucevic. Oh, just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances. Came up empty. And so it's the Detroit Pistons up by a healthy 8 points. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going so far for the Pistons.
Well, I like how they're going right at the defense, creating high-quality looks with that penetration.
Man, they're just having their way, bullying the other team in the painted area, imposing their will down there whenever they want.
Here are the five Detroit has to start the second. Cunningham and Ivy work together as the backcourt. Isaiah Stewart out there with Duren, and it's Thompson in at the three. And that one's good. Stewart.
Preparation paying off for Stewart. He was on his spot and ready to go the second he got the ball.
Ball outside. And there's the lob.
Just such a terrific dunker.
Man, born to fly, that's for sure. Giddey against Ivy. Stewart, screen on Giddey. Ivy passes to Stewart from outside the arc. And Detroit another three.
And after not making any threes in the first half, he now has two here in the second half. Let's see if he continue to add to that.
Now here's Giddey. He has 6.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
And at 6'10", Jalen Duren is an incredible athlete for his size.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bounce, which helps him as a rim protector, rebounder, and lob threat. Plus, he's got quick feet, and he's able to guard smaller guys on the perimeter. You have to put a body on Duren. He's quick, he's athletic, and he has that 7'5" wingspan.
Here's Buzelis, defended by Thompson. Here's Buzelis, off target at the rim. Cunningham with the ball, guarded by Smith. Cunningham looking it over. No good with a layup. The Bulls trail by 12. They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell. An aggressive move to a strong finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
Now here's Ivy. He's got 10. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Ivy's got 12 points in the game.
He's been reliable from the floor, and that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Pass to Vucevic. Knocks it loose. Duren with a steal. He's got a clear path. Giddey with it. Here's the three. And that one goes. 4 for 7 for him so far.
And their shots are dropping with more consistency now.
Stewart, a screen on Giddey. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
And that's 2 awful trips in a row resulting in turnovers. The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. But you can't make it that obvious.
Here's Buzelis. Pass to Giddey. Now Smith. Here's Buzelis. Oh, he nails that one. 3 for 4 now. Well, Grant, as you always say, in the playoffs, you need a player who can score in isolation.
That's true, B.A. And in a 7-game series, defenses to swept your set offense. If your stars can go mano-a-mano and create something out of nothing, that's often the best you can get.
The Bulls trail by 7. Down low. Pass the ball. Smith against Ivy. Sinks that one from the post. Smith's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, that's easy pickings for him. Unless the defense is all over him, he'll take that all day long.
And Josh Giddey is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
First team foul.
There's 57 seconds left in the first half of this one. Here's Ivy.
And he's having an ugly quarter from the field. It seems really frustrated.
And here's Ball. Banked it in off the glass. Now just a 3-point Pistons lead.
This run has been fueled by their matador defense.
And here's Ivy from the arc. Chicago with a rebound.
He came out today planning to do as much damage from three-point range as possible. Well, it looks like it's time to change up the plan, guys. When you even sense a break, always a good idea to get it to your man up court.
Here's Ivy. The Bulls making their last shot. There's the drive. It's Stewart, high post. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. That's on Jalen Smith.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
And he makes both free throws. There's 6 seconds left in the second. Got a piece of it. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Detroit on top, up by 3. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Despite being the visitor, they've been in control. They've got an edge to their game. That can quiet a hostile.
Now let's take a moment. Appreciate you joining us.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You gotta like what Jaden Ivey has done in this game.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
We've got Kobe White, Zach Collins out there with Williams. Then there's Ayo Dosunmu, and it's Horton Tucker in at the 2 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Well, Stan, you talk about a late bloomer. Kobe White has shown that he might be just that.
Well, Brian, everything has come together for him. He's improved on defense. He's improved his decision-making. He got that second contract and a bigger role, and he is playing great.
They might have the best hair in the NBA.
All he needed was a little separation. So effective.
Boy, cleared the path, put him in position for a prime-time dunk.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your team.
Can't be overzealous trying to stop Hardaway Jr. because this is what will get you in trouble.
First trip to the line for him here. The Pistons have had quite a few high lottery picks of late, Stan. However, they haven't had much success yet.
Well, Brian, you know, sometimes it takes a lot of time. Some teams will come together quicker. Some players and some teams need more time to develop. Detroit's just got to keep adding to what they have and continuing to develop the players that are already in their system.
And a great fan base in Detroit, starving for victories. The Pistons leading. Pass to Reed. Back to Hardaway. Picked by Reed. Just 5 on the clock. Hardaway on the wing. Defended by Horton Tucker. They get the rebound. Beasley outside. Picked by Reed. Out left to the wing. Back to Beasley. From deep three-point land. And again, the Pistons missing.
Stumbling to start the second half. 3 straight misses.
Pass to Dosunmu for the lead. Sinks the tray. Dosunmu's got 5.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
Hardaway, the pass to Reed. No good, a bit long that time.
He expects to make every one of those, and we expect him to make them too.
Oh, a nice shot by Collins.
Such confidence as a passer. He hits guys in stride and makes it look easy.
Hardaway with it. Dosunmu picks him up. Pass to Beasley. Picked by Reed. Now Schroeder. Reed inside. He's guarded by White. Soft touch off the glass.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
2 minutes.
Outside White. Outside Williams. Back to White. Outside Williams. Off the mark there with a 3. And so it's Schroeder with it. He brings it up for Detroit. Back to Hardaway. Fires from deep. Knocks down the long J. Hardaway's got 4 points this quarter.
You don't have to ask Hardaway twice. If the shot's available, he'll take it.
Here's Horton Tucker. And it's Harris with the rebound. The Pistons have got just 2 of 6 in the second half. For 3, Hardaway. He drops it from range. He's got 7.
Yeah, that's like a layup to Hardaway at this point in his career.
Outside Horton Tucker. Dosunmu outside. Will it go? Knocks down the triple. Dosunmu's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Exchanging buckets from downtown. That's been a staple of tonight's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Now here's Beasley. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Pass to Reed. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. And the Pistons lead by 4. Schroeder against White. And the layup falls.
You gotta commend the concentration White showed there. He doesn't get thrown off kilter easily.
Hardaway up top, defended by Horton Tucker. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Impressive one-hand slam right there, B.A.
Man, as long as he's confident about it, I'm good with it. Maybe use 2 hands next time. He knows where he is. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Detroit on top, up by 4. We've got more hoops.
The time is here.
Man, I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the 4th quarter. The Pistons lead by 4. And on the floor for Detroit here in the 4th. Cunningham and Ivy work together as the backcourt. Isaiah Stewart out there with Asar Thompson. And it's Duren in at the 5, down low. Here's Ivy. Here he goes.
And with the talent and the competitiveness that Ivy has, we're going to see a lot of nights like this in his NBA career. It's just a matter of how many.
Here's Giddey. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
And you have have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
Well, it's always a big plus when you have a point guard that can attack the rim like that, puts so much pressure on the defense.
Here's Ivy. He hits again. 7 for 13 and looking confident.
Just finding room to go to work inside. Ivy really relies on his physical abilities to get a close-range shot.
To the middle. Tipped away. Three-pointer. Buzelis gets the three to fall.
And with a smooth shot like that, I expect Buzelis to hit a ton of three-pointers during his career.
Giddey against Ivy. Stewart, a screen on Giddey. Out to Thompson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Thompson's got his first points of the game.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense.
And the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. That one on Thompson. And you look at Matas Buzelis. Size, touch, feel for the game too, Grant.
Oh, B.A., he's a connector. We all love seeing those offenses where the ball doesn't stick. He's a guy who'll keep things moving.
I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
Here's Ivy. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be it. And here comes the coach's challenge. He disagrees with the foul. He does not hesitate to ask for a second look. It's a pretty heated game. Every call matters.
Ivy, one shot. The play is under video review under NBA
Still
rules.
disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look, so the officials can be sure they get it right. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry. Zero rim protection, unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
Yeah, there's no excuse for giving that up. That's the absolute last thing you want to happen.
Stewart, right side. On the wing, Thompson. Back to Stewart. 6 to shoot. Driving to the basket. Pass to Duran. Duran, the screen. And here's Cunningham outside. Out to Thompson. Ball with a steal. Here's Buzelis. Stewart defends. Vucevic with it to tie it up. Thompson pulls it in. Fourth quarter keeps moving along. 3 minutes gone by now.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Cunningham outside. Stewart outside. Pass to Duran. 4 on the clock. The Pistons need to get one up quick. Back to Ivy. The three. Here's Thompson. Stewart outside. There's Cunningham with a three. Cunningham attacks for three.
Wow, Cunningham dialing it up from three-point range.
Here's Buzelis, defended by Thompson. Puts the move on. Buzelis' shot is good. Buzelis has got 7 now in this quarter.
Oh, man. Massive points from Buzelis. Yes.
Here's Ivy. And he banks in the layup. And the Pistons lead by 6.
You have to love Ivy's energy. Playing his heart out right up until the very end.
And Paul throws it down.
Easy to understand why they leave Ball out here in these moments. He knows how to deliver.
Pass to Ivy. There's 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rips it home off a terrific move.
Well, that's a clutch play by Ivy. He clearly wasn't intimidated by the moment.
And it's out of bounds. Still Chicago's ball.
Well, a risky pass there, and if you ask me, they're lucky that the defense didn't steal out.
Outside Giddey. There's the triple, and it's good. What a beautiful shot. Brings him within 3.
When his team needs him, Giddey steps up. Love to see a guy with that kind of fire.
Ivy. Rebound by the Bulls.
And this is so critical. They now have to score every trip up the floor.
Yeah, they need everything to break their way at this point if they're going to rally back.
Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time clutch.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
And solid pass from Cunningham. He has a good understanding for when the defense has overcommitted.
Vucevic, a screen on Cunningham. Ball against Cunningham. Duran with a steal. The ball's knocked loose. Pass to Vucevic to tie it up. Can't get the 3 to fall. So it's a narrow victory for the Pistons, pulling it out for the W. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown